Hola mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is Taffrey16, welcome back to another reaction video, and welcome to my 5th reaction to Travel Man. So we're finally getting to the episode that I've been meaning to get to, the 4th episode of the 2nd series, where Richard and Greg Davies go to Moscow, Russia, which just sounds fucking bonkers. If you have not seen my previous reaction to Travel Man, so far I've seen the one he did with Chris O'Dowd, with Noel Fielding, with Jessica, I forget her last name, and with Rebel Wilson. So, per usual, this is about 24 minutes. Let's go ahead and watch it. Jessica Hines, that's her name. Jessica Hines. I'm sorry, I forgot. It was slipping my mind. Jessica Hines. That's one when they went to Iceland. But let's watch it.
Mini breaks are a swirling nebula of nonsense. How can anyone go somewhere new and be expected to enjoy themselves without a decade to decompress? With no idea where to go, how to eat, or what to do, it's impossible to stop the whole thing turning into a monumental fudge-up. But fear not, fellow sojourners, for I, Richard Ayoade's legally appointed representative, have been authorised to help in this time of times.
Accompanied by a whole quiver of well-known faces, I'm going to take you hurtling through a foolproof maxi mini break.
Oh my god.
This is travel without mercy.
This eve, 48 hours in Moscow. Stacked high with history, culture, and oligarchy, a person of thrift could secure a weekend in Moscow for close to £1,300. Accompanying me on this 2-day sojourn is a man on the scale of a Russian futurist statue. The formidable actor and comedian, Greg Davies.
Yeah, he's tall as shit.
Together we will sensuously submerge ourselves in tradition.
Greg, why did you insist that I sit at this angle?
Ingest the local culture.
Now we're talking.
And breakfast like bandits.
Oh, that is strong. What better television is there than two men pressing buttons?
I can't think of one.
We're here, but should we have come?
I don't know.
To visit Moscow, you need to apply for a visa, which involves a whole fountain of faff. Faff can be quelled by taking a package holiday, but this isn't Package Man. That shows in development with a more accessible host. So we cop our visas and touch down.
Hope it's not
Greg
Jimmy Carr.
Davies, thanks for joining me in Moscow.
It's probably Jimmy Carr.
Thanks for having me here. Why are we here, Richard?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Tell me
Moscow
why.
dropped onto the world scene about a millennium ago, and it's been invaded, besieged, or revolutionised at least once a century ever since. It was recently voted the most unfriendly city in the world, which immediately endears me to it. And, mercifully, Russian children are taught not to smile at school, because it's not charming, it's actually quite needy.
Our first destination is Red Square. Oft described as the heart of Moscow and even all Russia, it's been the scene of May Day parades, public executions, and chillingly, a Shakira concert.
Well, Greg, we're in Red Square.
Shakira.
How do you feel?
I feel powerful.
You look powerful.
Thank you
do,
very
yeah.
much. I feel strangely at home. I am Russian by height.
Yeah.
The Russian word for red, Krasny, originally meant beautiful and has only come to mean red in more recent times. Looming large is the 15th century fortified complex known on the street as the Kremlin, and therein lies the presidential pad.
Oh, that's the
It's
Kremlin.
mightily impressive. It's very macho.
I know of the Kremlin. I'm not sure if I've actually
It's
seen
now
it.
even the biggest department store in Moscow.
I was surprised it was a department store at all.
I know.
I thought it would be an austere military building, but it's for clothes.
It's alarmingly wide. That's St. Basil's.
St. Basil's Cathedral was
That I've
built in the 16th century during the reign of Ivan the Terrible, whose name limits interpretation of his character. Red Square also allows you access to the Russian History Museum and Lenin's tomb, making it a sound opening salvo for the tourists looking to ram a whole case of culture down their gullet.
I like it. I like it here.
Pretty much within 20 seconds, we've taken in all we need to take in.
Greg is now a
I don't know
communist.
where everyone's gone.
When we arrived, there were lots of people here.
Yeah, and they scattered.
They've got,
Yeah.
which makes me think we're about to be arrested.
Executed, yeah.
That's state police intervening after that comment.
Yeah.
Mercifully, the police aren't on my back again, but we have been very much interrupted by a fleet of World War II military vehicles practicing for the Russian Military Day of Honor parade. So, like the decrepit tanks we are, we make a tactical retreat.
So would you recommend walking in on a Second World War military display in Red Square as something to do when everyone else comes to Moscow.
Absolutely, number one on my list so
You've
far.
got to do it.
Yeah.
You've just got to do it.
Well, I imagine you've got other treats in store for me.
Yes, they also have a martial undertow. Let's go and investigate them.
There's
Grace is
a
along for the ride.
well-impressive 450 museums in Moscow, but there's only one that celebrates the Cold War battle for spaceflight supremacy, giving it a capitalistic monopoly on actual shiz that has been in space.
Dog.
Which is why we're bearing down on the Cosmonaut Museum. We have been given a tour by Daria, who is keen to gauge the level of our space knowledge.
You know what's there?
The moon.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
No, okay. Okay.
I know that.
We're really going back to basics.
Daria is taking us inside a replica
I've
of the
found
Mir
the
space
moon.
station. The original Mir was launched in 1986 and could orbit the Earth in just over 90 minutes, which is half the time it takes to get across London, which is smaller than space.
Wow.
What's interesting we can see here. Firstly is the sleeping bag.
Yes, but they're sleeping upright.
Yeah, cosmonauts don't know where is up and where
doesn't
is
matter.
There's
and
no
where
upright
is
in
down.
space.
What's happening to your brain at that stage when you have no orientation?
I think it's probably a little bit like having a tooth missing. You just adjust.
That sounded too specific
That's
to
all
be
I've
just
got.
a general example.
That's all I've got.
Also, you can look
Yes.
there. You know what's this?
This is a
Yes,
toilet.
That's a toilet.
Yeah, this is space toilet.
This is very similar to my toilets at home.
Really?
Yeah,
And you know, it works like a vacuum cleaner.
exactly like mine.
This,
Yeah.
this.
You have the vacuum toilet.
Exactly like mine.
Through
Yeah.
choice, don't you?
Not through choice, through medical advice.
I see.
To complete the immersive cosmonaut experience, visitors can sample genuine space food.
It looks delicious. This is meat.
Yes,
One of them.
What's for dessert?
cracker,
Oh,
iris,
Okay.
marmelade,
what's that?
iris, marmelade.
Any fruit?
It's good.
Bush.
It's very good.
Another bush. Okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
Russia. Nice.
Our astronomical fare duly secured, we can finally start squirting our first course onto some dry crackers.
That's a long, hard space trip. I can see why they need that space toilet.
Can we have some meat and veg before we
Try
move on
some
to our
meat.
dessert? Oh, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, dear.
That's going to be floating all around.
I would be able to,
Yeah,
in space, of course.
that's going to end up a horrible gif.
Really squeeze it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, dear.
Yield. No.
You know you're failing phase one of the cosmonauts training program. Let's have some pudding.
No, no. I think it's a drink, maybe. It might be a drink.
It wasn't made clear to me at the
No.
space station.
How's that? Good?
No, no. It's the antithesis of good.
Okay. Your drink's leaking all over the shuttle.
We've done
Dear Lord.
all we can with history and science, so we rotate our periscopes to pop culture. Moscow is the fourth most congested city on Earth, and this entirely unevocative stat has meant we've decided to hop on the metro with all its Stalin-era barockery.
What do you think of the Baroque ceiling, first made in 1935?
Genuinely impressive.
Yeah.
And it has the added bonus of being historically fascinating and reminding me of all my Frankie Goes to Hollywood 12 inches.
Sure.
The intricate ceilings are but one of the reasons that the Moscow metro stations are rated among the most beautiful in the world by a rating system whose methodology should not be questioned too closely.
I think it's better than Cockfosters.
Get out.
I do think that.
You've not been to Cockfosters recently.
I have been to Cockfosters
Have you?
recently. There was nothing for me to rub for luck.
Like this dog
Like
snack.
that dog snacked.
Very lucky. Go on. But not as lucky as this loading mechanism of the gun. This is a germaphobe's delight. I
Yeah,
don't
it
like
is.
it.
Give the dog's nose a rub. This lady has. Look.
Nah,
Yeah.
she's off to play the lottery now.
Yeah. Horribly killed by a train.
I'm not so sure.
Greg has revealed himself to have the empirical compass
Greg
of a
looks really
warlock.
nervous.
So we switch tack and travel back in time to experience what life was like in Soviet-era Moscow.
I'd probably
but
be nervous
in a very
too.
specific way.
This is it.
This is the one.
This might look like the waiting lounge of an advertising agency, but it's a working archive of Soviet-era arcade games.
Were you a big gamer in your time?
I was not.
Ah.
I was very
Really?
physical, lots of wrestling.
Of course.
Until the end of communist rule about 25 years ago, Russian youths had no access to the fascist, brainwashing
funny.
assault of Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. Instead, they were getting their minds blown by kit like this.
Well, what better television is there than two men pressing buttons? Bang. Nothing but net.
Surprised you're a gloater.
Thank you. I'm not surprised.
I mean,
I'm
it
not
solves the
surprised
mystery
either.
of why there was tension with the West, because I feel incredibly tense.
This is very pleasurable.
Although I'm happy to display my virtual sporting prowess, Greg insists that we must station to one of the many games that mostly consist of blowing shiz up.
Yeah, I'm off the score sheet.
Gosh, it really is hard to sink enemy ships.
This is actually a great game. I think the real torpedo launches are accompanied by a sound of a bag of crisps being opened as well. What I think is intriguing is that you dominated on the basketball court. When it comes to military tactics,
Yes.
I have the superior mind.
Upon the ocean, you triumphed. Let's see how the battle continues.
With our gaming all square at one apiece, we've decided to find a winner the old Russian way.
Whoever gets the most Russian road signs corresponding to the Russian text will win. And bear in mind, we only have 48 hours in Moscow, and this was one of the things you chose to do. Bear that in mind. Let's start. Oh, I'm wrong.
Perhaps my giant hands come into play here. Oh, I'm off.
Oh, you've got one.
Yeah.
Are you pressing all of them?
Yes, I am.
That is really unsportsmanlike. What we're doing is like two insane seals slapping
This game
at
could
road
save my life,
signs.
Richard.
It could. Well, I think you've won.
None of
A
us.
random event caused
No
you
one
to
here
win.
has won.
I think television's won.
Yep, it sure has.
I think television's beaten
So is
us.
YouTube.
As the eve envelops us, our thoughts turn to culture and pretending to care about it.
Damn.
Moscow is rightly renowned for its theatre, ballet and circus. But these events are exhaustingly time-hungry, so we're going to something which combines all three.
I'm sorry, Richard, what is this?
It's
God
a
damn.
cat circus. It's a cat circus, Greg.
I know
There's a
you
fine
saw what
line
I
between
saw. I'm just,
kooky and
I'm
really
just
worrying.
saying.
Creepy.
I know you saw what
The
I
Cat
saw.
Theatre quarters over 200 cats spanning 38 breeds, and, unsurprisingly, the theatre
I
is
ain't gonna
one of
pretend
the
like I
only of
didn't.
its kind on the planet.
This cat is just trying to survive. I said Bolshoi Ballet. You wouldn't know. Cat circus.
I've heard
It'll
about
be
the
kooky.
cat circus.
As the show builds towards what we hope is a close, things are beginning to take a troubling turn.
I'm losing my... I'm not sure how much more I can take of this.
Hundreds of cats on crystal balls.
You know, we have limited time, and I feel this could go on forever.
As you wish.
I'm leaving.
I'm coming.
I've got to.
Oh my god.
Well, I feel you only need to see that once, if at all.
I think it is one of the strangest things that I will ever see.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
I think the people watching this are going to be very disappointed that you didn't join in when all the kids were clapping for their performing cat
No,
section.
I'm not. I know what happens here when people start clapping in unison, and I do not want to be a part of it. Let's leave.
Our first 24 hours in Moscow have been a Jenga tower of experiences that
That's
will
one way of
linger
putting it.
long in the mind and the lower stomach.
It's like a sinister Ribena.
In the part of the show we call Part 2, we will live like locals,
I'm losing the bread.
scrub like locals, and
Nice.
shop like tightwads.
I could get something signed by Patrick Stewart for 1,000.
We are halfway through our morally serious rampage through the alluring architecture and heady history of Moscow. Thus far, we have gamed like Soviets,
Bang. All net.
eaten like cosmonauts,
Oh, that's a shame.
and seen some trained cats.
I said Bolshoi Ballet. You wouldn't know. Cat circus.
As Day 2 prizes its wonder open, we strive to slip under the skin of this monumental city rather than just walking around periodically consulting TripAdvisor.
I know what you're thinking. What would it be like to live like a local?
How do you do it?
Like Meatloaf, I've taken the words right out of your mouth.
It's incredible.
I'm going to show you.
Moscow has enough walking tours to keep you tramping round so-called points of interest for fortnights. But local residents George and Anna have blown the tour game wide open with their Moscow Like a Local tour, exploring historic Moscovian neighbourhood Chisty Prudy.
This place actually, the pond. A couple of centuries ago, it used to be called a foul pool.
Right.
The reason is there lived a lot of butchers around here.
Okay.
And they used to dump their waste just in this pond.
It was a meat pond.
It was, yeah.
It was dirty, smelly, and disgusting
Broth.
place.
I mean, that is never going to catch on a meat pond, is it?
Unless it could have been heated from underneath, and then it could have been a soup.
Soup.
But you can never get heated enough in Moscow anyway.
No.
So.
Wonder what those
I've just
ducks
got
are
some
eating.
sausages I want to throw in this pond.
Yeah, not now. Like maybe 2 centuries earlier.
Not only does the tour take in former
I'm gonna do
meat ponds, but also food-based architecture.
How'd they get all that meat out
Yeah,
of
near
there?
the egg house.
It looks like it could take off.
Yeah, it's true.
It's good.
George and Anna insist that to really
Like, how
feel
did
like
they
a local,
clean that?
we must, even at 10 in the AM, like 600 years worth of Muscovites before us, have a volley of vodka slammed into our necks.
After you drink every shot, you take a piece of pure bread, fresh bread, and smell it. When you don't feel the smell, you should stop drinking.
Okay.
It's a good
Right.
indicator when
Okay.
we should.
When your
Okay.
senses fail you, call it a day.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that is strong. I'm going to smell some bread now.
Yeah. I can smell the bread.
May I put some second one?
Oh, we are having a second one.
Wow.
For sure.
I'm afraid once I've had 2, I can't stop. That's one of my rules.
Mercifully for Greg, George knows how to use the impregnable Russian barrier of pig fat bread spread.
It's a fat, so it will accumulate alcohol inside your stomach, and you won't be drunk.
And so the
Okay.
fat is to soak up the alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling it.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. I'm losing the bread. The bread's lost.
I'm having a lovely morning.
Thank you.
If you want to have a lovely morning in Russia,
Yes.
start with a couple shots, take
Yeah.
a pickle,
Yeah.
and go for a walk.
And then just try and operate that forklift.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
That's
you. Yeah.
fucking tremendous.
Dangerously drowsy and chilled to ourselves, we march on to enmesh ourselves in further events.
Where are we going?
We're going to a bathhouse.
Oh, let's go.
Pushkin, Tolstoy and Chekhov are mainly known for how seriously they took their toilet, and part of their rightly celebrated skincare regime involved the patronage of these baths, which is still an active part of Moscow culture at this very moment. The great and the only so-so can broil together, bonded by the belief that all men are equal when undressed. But I don't need to strip down to feel inferior, so I robe up to the gullet.
Oh, hello, gentlemen.
Hi. Can you tell by my body language how comfortable I am?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this the proper appearance?
Yes, of course.
Presumably I will be incredibly cool and relaxed because I'm wearing this hat, whereas
hat.
Richard will be horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen
All
Richard with his
clients
shirt off.
to wear.
I don't think anybody has.
Let's go to the steam room.
Okay. Don't forget your hat.
Yuri is taking
feel
us
him
for a
now.
speciality of these baths, a birch leaf treatment that is supposed to improve circulation. Greg volunteers with giddying eagerness.
Greg, why did you insist that I sit at this angle? Because for me, this is a bad angle. I am not engaging with this.
Some of it's quite nice, but it feels like it's building to something sinister.
Yeah.
Oh, there! That's sinister.
This is a woodland version of Stomp.
I imagine this looks...
It doesn't look good, Greg.
This is nice. Ah,
Wow.
I deserve this.
Bang.
With Greg bewacked into new strata of sensation, he moves with unearthly alacrity to the traditional post-steam ice-cold douche.
There are people who work here in the background actively laughing.
Ready? Go.
He's like, all right, yeah.
Well, that was creepy. How do you feel about it?
I went in there with a tick list of 3 things, Richard.
Okay, tell me what was on the tick list.
I wanted to wear a hat, maybe look like a sinister children's character.
Tick.
I wanted topless men to thrash me with sticks.
Tick.
And then I wanted to be driven close to a heart attack with ice cold water.
Well, that's excellent news for the tick chart, because
Thanks so much
that's
for...
3 ticks. I think let's go on, let's explore. There might even be more to Moscow than that.
There doesn't seem much point, but let's try.
Let's soldier on. Here we go.
Right.
Feeling more authentic than mid-period Matthew McConaughey, we look for objects that can commemorate our sojourn. Our dear companion Google Maps predicts a 33-min taxi journey. Time enough for Greg and I to contemplate the cultural influences of the West on Moscow since the collapse of the Iron Curtain.
Do you think Tears for Fears were big in Moscow?
Where weren't Tears for Fears big? That music will not be denied.
Maybe if you start singing Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
It was Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Incredible.
The world, brother.
These are the things I can do without. Come on.
The driver doesn't seem to be joining in.
No, he doesn't.
You don't have to shout. Let it all out.
Ismailovo Flea Market is celebrating its glorious
gonna
26th
get
year
shot,
of trading.
bro.
There's an infinite present of craft shops and food areas, as well as a flea market section selling high-quality knick-knackery.
Well,
Knick-knackery.
this is the flea market.
That's a market.
It's wonderfully integrated
That's
within
market.
the local community.
That's not a knife.
Like
This is
the
a
capitalist scum we are, we look to hoover up some goods.
I say, Richard,
What's that, Greg?
I hate Russian dolls.
Why's that?
So full of themselves.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, you've got Patrick Stewart from Next Generation Star Trek.
This style 2,000 rubles.
I could get something signed by Patrick Stewart for 1,000.
2,200 rubles maybe?
It goes up. Haggling with this man is not
dangerous.
Gonna,
It's
gonna go well.
business.
If you haggle with him for a while, you'll just leave owing money even if you don't buy anything.
Yeah. What I'm interested in is Putin on a bear.
Yes.
This 6,000 rubles.
6,000 rubles.
Yes.
I only have 4,000.
Ah,
Ah.
there's the rub. What about these 2 for 6,000?
Okay, and 2 plastic bags for free.
That's
Wonderful.
good.
Done.
It's the joke that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Year in, year out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Come
much.
back next time.
We will come back.
Yeah.
They're never coming back. You'll never
The
see that
final
man
minutes
again.
of our 48 hours in mighty Moscow will soon elapse. But before we can tap in our pins at duty free, we head to the statue of Peter the Great to dissect and digest.
It's been a visit of highs and lows.
Well, I know what your high was.
Well, I think you know what my high was.
Cat circus.
Correct, it was.
Thank you. You loved that cat circus.
I did.
I very much enjoyed Red Square.
You can't avoid being impressed.
What a square.
How are you feeling on reflection about not revealing any of your body in the baths?
Well, as you know, I'm covered in Maori tattoos.
You are.
And Nazi symbols.
Unusual to do them yourself.
It is unusual. No one else needs to see it.
Our conclusion is steadfast. Moscow is a mighty
shit.
city that combines coldness and warmth, whereas I only possess the former.
At the beginning of the trip, you told me in no uncertain terms that you and I would not hug at any point.
That is a stipulation I stand by. I don't want it. I know it's there. No.
What if
You're in Russia 48 hours and you're already trying to stage some kind of coup. Don't slide along the bench to me. I'm free. I'm a free man. I live in the West. I'm free.
I actually hope somebody tells those pita nut jobs about the cat circus, simply because I'd like to see those fuckers try to go to Russia and do anything. That'd be the end of Peter right there. They ain't gonna do shit in Russia, I'll tell you what. Well, that was about as good as I expected it to be. Greg looked terrified for most of it, but he was fucking awesome, as usual. Him and Richard have a great rapport. There's so many great episodes of this that we can do. I have one on request from Yoshi. It's actually the new one. Joe, tell me how to say his last name. Is it Lisette? Is it Lisette? Who's taken over the show now. Finally got his series premiere. Him and Bill Bailey went to Iceland. The copyright on the new series is different, however, so I'm not sure if I can get it on YouTube. We'll have to see. But Whatever, if you, there's a lot of great episodes of this. If you're familiar with the episode catalog and there's an episode you want to see, let me know. But that's going to do it for my 5th reaction, Travel Man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, by the way, if you've watched all of the episodes with me previous, which one is your favorite so far? Let me know that as well. But that is going to do it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like it. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, my Twitch, where I stream every single day, my second channel for instant views, my Twitter, if you want to follow me, my Patreon. If you want to support me on my daily motion, all those things are in the description down below. Thank you to us. I'm currently recording all 88 of my Patrons for your constant support me on my channel. For those who don't know, you can be Patreon me for as low as $1 or £1. You extra direction videos, those reading comments up to a day early, and you get your name in the description as well. Also in the description is a link to the community Reddit, as well as the daily schedule, as well as the Twitch VODs channel. With all that being said though, my name is Taffy16. It's been my 5th reaction, Travel Man. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.